All right, what's going on? Happy Monday, and welcome into another edition of the Ryan Ripken Show. It's been a weekend. It's been a week. We got a lot to talk about here. MLB postseason is moving and grooving. Apparently, the Mariners have, Zach's going to explain, the Mariners have a reason why they're winning the whole thing. I don't know, but Zach has the answers for us. And if you're in Baltimore, you are looking for more answers, at least on the football side. Ravens, it was a game.
Not going to find them.
It was there, and then it wasn't. We're going to explain all of that and a whole lot more. And then going around the NFL and this whole weekend, not just the NFL, there was a lot of moments that left you scratching your head or wondering what the hell is happening. And we got a lot of them, from what is being said down with the Miami Dolphins to a fight after the game with the Chiefs and the Lions. You name it, we're going to cover it in one of the biggest college football moves so far this year. So if you're new to the channel, hit that like and subscribe button. Ryan Ripken Show. We do this live Monday, Thursday, and Sunday right here on YouTube, X, and Facebook. In the studio with us, behind the sticks, Brad. Good morning. Good afternoon. It's a Monday.
This guy.
It's a Monday.
Christ. Yeah, it's a Monday. All right. So what's going on? I have a poll out.
Ooh.
And it simply reads, is the Ravens season over? Yes or no?
Oh,
very simple.
It's actually a good poll.
It's pretty well thought out, actually. You're welcome. But I want to talk about whether or not we think it's over, and we will talk about that later in the show. But yeah, not all that surprising yesterday as a Ravens fan, but there was a bright spot, I guess.
Yeah.
That was kind of about it.
yes.
Zach?
Yeah, it's
Hi, Zach.
yeah, how's it going? Yeah, it was there were some surprising things. I think there was better fight. I think it was surprising in ways where you're like, wow, wait a second. There's some competitiveness. Like maybe the Rams ain't going to come in here and drop 60 on us. And then it was the disappointment of, guys, we're right there.
Goddamn turnovers, man.
Yeah, like you just kept saying, you're like, oh, here, they're making, oh, okay, well, no, we're not. Oh, okay, no, we're back in this. Oh, wait, no, we're not. Oh, we have an opportunity. What? Okay, no, we're not. And it just was it was like that other type of torture watching a football game where like there's the one when you get blown out and you're like, ooh, okay. You know, the Texans game pretty much midway through the second quarter, you were like, got it. This one, it just up until really the fourth quarter started. There was still that like, oh, could we actually do this? Could we actually do? Nope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was rough.
It was something.
Yeah. You know, it was a different type of frustration, I guess, for Ravens fans. Mainly the one you just described was, well, when you get your ass kicked, it's like, okay, well, that was, I'm glad that that's over. And actually, hold on, I'm having trouble speaking with these in, so hold on for a second, Brad. We were talking. I mean, it's just better. I think It
is better, but we just need to.
We're getting there.
It's
camera's not on.
They just need to not be cameras on, not on. You're good.
Okay, that's
They just need to not be in.
Hey, you know what? I'm trying.
Housekeeping.
I'm trying to follow my doctor's orders. Shout out, Dr. G. And I can't even find my case. This is how Mondays go. Oh, it's down here.
Why is your case on the floor?
Because that's what Mondays are for, okay?
I just thought, okay, no, you're right. You're right.
Jesus Christ. This is why we can't have nice things.
I was going to say, you want to talk about long Mondays, wait till next week. Me and Brad were just talking about this. Monday Night Football starting at 10 p.m. again next week.
What the fuck is up with this? There's two things that I don't understand.
It's week 6. Why are there double headers on Monday?
Bro, I understood like double headers on Monday when there wasn't a bye week, something like that. But like now that we're in the thick of the season, nobody on the West Coast or on the East Coast is watching a game till 1:30 in the morning.
I
probably will. No, I probably will. It's just more of an inconvenience. So like, no, I will be seated.
Okay,
yeah,
but like
we'll complain about it.
Generally speaking, East Coasters aren't watching football till 1:30.
Oh no, but I'm then going to be upset about it in the morning. Like I'm going to do it, and then in the morning it's going to be. And that's the other thing is it's probably going to be a really shitty game too. No matter who's playing, it's going to be like a 17-13 game that you're like, I could have just watched the highlights in the morning.
I'm also like Rip and I talked about this yesterday. That the London games, and Zach, you and I talked about this too. The London games, any of the overseas games, they're all just dog shit games too. Like, when can this be over? When can this experiment be over? And I know that I'm asking a rhetorical question because it's never going to be over. It's only going to get worse.
Yep.
But like, I understand wanting to globalize football, because it's only going to be better for the NFL if they do. But there's better ways to go about it, right? Like, baseball is a globalized sport. Everybody knows the MLB is where players want to play, and that's the best league in the world in that sport. And same thing goes for any other sport that's done globally. There's just got to be a better way.
Yeah.
Make other leagues in those countries and then make the NFL the standard.
Well, or it's just figure out how to get guys to not have games that make you want to pull your hair out. Now, some of us can't afford that right here, but that's essentially what happened on Saturday morning. We were doing the show live here.
Yeah.
I kept getting the updates, and I'm like, oh, it's 3-0. Oh, wait, hey, now it's 3-6.
Yeah,
it's
safeties,
11-10.
Bo Nix had more rush yards than Breece Hall did. Like, it just, I was just
yeah. So
it's all bad.
But I will say, when they played in Brazil, been some great games over there. So what is it when you go over to London?
It's the time difference.
Yes, but I feel like it's once every 4 games in London or 5, you'll be like, wow, that was a great game. Because I will say, even though it was an ugly game, the Vikings and Steelers in Dublin, right? Or in Ireland, sorry.
Yeah.
It was Dublin.
Well, Dublin, Ireland.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Dublin, Ireland.
Dublin. Ireland.
That was an ugly game, but it was an exciting game. Like, it actually came down to the wire, and it was a game.
I mean, this game came down to the wire, but it was one of those coming down to the wire where it was like the positive was this game was about to be over.
Yes, that was
Correct.
the positive.
It wasn't
either
like,
they're going to make the field goal or
ending.
not. I mean, if they made the field goal, maybe that would have been like, oh shit. Like,
The Jets got their first win. Nope, they didn't.
No.
And now they're going to be having Garrett Wilson out for a little bit. The report just came out. But now let's get back to the Ravens. Let's circle it back. We're back talking. We're back. Hi.
Yeah, you ready for the results of this poll so far?
That early.
It's pretty well decided.
So I'm assuming they're going to say no, because it's a positive group out there that believes that this team can get back on track, because that's where people are on their Mondays.
Sure. Yeah. Rip. 16% of the vote are not fair weather fans, which means that 84% of you that have voted so far say that the season is done. It's dead.
So
over.
you're a fair weather fan if you believe the season's not over?
Yes. You
No,
got
no,
12 more
other
games
way.
to play.
And you're saying it's
11.
over? Yeah.
No,
11.
If you're saying it's not, if you're saying it's over.
Yeah. Then you're a fair weather fan.
Oh, yeah. Season's not. That's what I'm agreeing. Season's not over.
Yeah. That's what I was like.
Okay, so we're on the same track.
Yeah.
Woo! Mondays.
Get it together.
Get it together. Get it right. But people are wondering when the Ravens are going to get it right. I gotta say, let's just go into this game, because one thing I really wanted to really emphasize, and probably the biggest moment or a line of plays where it kind of talks about how the Ravens season has gone, is the plays right before halftime.
Yes.
Where the Ravens, it's 3-3, you're at the goal line, the Rams have to use their timeouts, and you can take the lead against the Rams, where the game started off, by the way, with a good drive, 3-0. The Rams kicker misses the field goal off the upright.
Boink.
And you're feeling like, okay, it could be that type of day. And then right before the half, you don't get in the first time. Okay, Rams have to call a timeout. 2 consecutive tush pushes. I couldn't actually find the camera angle on this, Zach, but 2 consecutive tush pushes from the one.
With Charlie, was it Charlie
I think
Cole?
it was
No, it's Mark
Mark
Andrews.
Andrews.
Regardless of it, you needed a yard the first time. Then you needed a half a yard the second time. And then everyone in the stadium knew, well, we're not going to let Cooper Rush throw this football. So now Derrick Henry's going to get the ball again. And
Yeah.
even if the world knows that Derrick Henry's getting the ball,
You still run.
The Rams
Henry.
went right through it, and the Ravens couldn't score. And that was a moment that kind of stood out there. And then that sequence felt like this Ravens season of so far when you needed to make the play that could put you over the top or put you in that position, you couldn't make it. And then what happened down the stretch?
Fumble.
And that was
Interception.
like the Ravens throughout this game. Yes, the Rams, they won the game. They won by 14. The box score makes it seem like it was a not close. The thing is, it was close.
Yeah.
But the Ravens' wounds, the self-inflicted wounds, and the Rams forced a couple, but they handed that game on a silver platter right to Matthew Stafford.
What was the record with Derrick Henry over 100 yards rushing?
Undefeated.
Undefeated.
Sorry, they're 8-0 when he got 20 or more touches.
Which he got 20 or more yesterday, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, he got 22, I believe.
22, 24.
So it was
It
close.
was 24
It does
yards.
beg the question. Like I kind of was wondering this. Obviously brought Tyler Huntley in later in the game, and John Harbaugh confusingly said that was part of the game plan. I do wonder what it would have been like had he just started the game, because when he brought him in, not saying that they scored any points after that, but you're bringing in a quarterback in 3/4 of the way through the game. That's to be expected. But he looked way better than Cooper Rush did. Like it just looked like a way different offense when you brought him in. So it just made me wonder like what it would have looked like had you had brought him in the beginning, had that he been part of the game plan from the jump.
Mm-hmm.
And if it had been a different game. Because to your point, and we talked about the turnovers, the defense actually did really great.
Defense held up.
Haven't been able to say that all year long. So you have a defense that essentially held that team to 10 points, okay? Because 7 of those points were basically given to the Rams because of where the fumble happened, where they had like 10, 12 yards to go before.
Still on that side of the field.
Yeah. So I'm not pinning that on the defense. So just take those 7 points away. They gave up 10 points the whole game. You're supposed to win those games if you only give up 10 points. So I just wonder if that we brought in Tyler Huntley, the way that he seemed to have been commanding that offense after he was brought in, if it had been a different outcome.
Yeah, I mean, Snoop definitely had some juice. But even without Cooper Rush, which, again, unfortunately for him, I thought with just his background and what he did in Dallas and with the skill set of players they had in Baltimore, I thought the offense would move better than it has. And I thought maybe then with those guys that you could put up 20-some, maybe even reach 30. Okay, hey, guilty. I was wrong on that one. But
yeah, I was going to say I disagree with that wholeheartedly.
That you thought he had zero chance of putting it from the start.
Yes, and here's why. This Cooper Rush was a very risky experiment because of what we had talked about with like Ian Eagle. First time we've seen a drop back quarterback since 2018. So you're going to take an offense that's used to the RPOs and the pistols and everything else, and Lamar Jackson commanding that offense, to a Cooper Rush who's traditionally a drop back quarterback, doesn't run around a lot, can't get away from defenses like a Lamar Jackson or even Snoop can do. And you're going to throw him back there and expect him to run a similar offense. It just doesn't make any sense that would have worked. I was intrigued. I was hopeful, but it doesn't surprise me that this is how it turned out.
No, I'm not surprised with the outcome. But what I'm saying is if you had told me in 2 games that Cooper Rush was starting and he had a 9-5 record as a starting quarterback before he started these 2 games in Baltimore with a less talented offense as far as skill position guys and who they had, I thought even with the difference of the quarterback, which again, the systems are different. There's no doubt about it. But Cooper Rush, there was no rhythm with the throws. They ran the ball well, but there was no play action game. Like there was so many things that were off there. And so Snoop, when he came in, what was Snoop's big plays in there? It was him running.
Yeah.
For his life.
For his life. So like, so in that case, I really, and maybe the offensive line is just really lacking confidence and everything that's happening there. But right now, even with Cooper Rush in that circumstance, when he took over, when Snoop took over, it was 3-3 at the half. And then the Rams to start the second half, go all the way down, which the Ravens had a chance.
4th and 3.
4th and 2, 4th and 3.
2.
And then Kyron Williams makes the play, but there's a defensive pass interference either way. On the 4th down, touchdown. Next first play from scrimmage, the next drive is the fumble. So in the blink of an eye, and this is the crazy thing. So they score the touchdown, then the fumble. The Rams score a touchdown 2 plays later. So in the span of 4 plays, the Ravens went from a 3-3 game to 17-3 in 4 plays.
Yeah.
If that doesn't describe the season, it took 4 plays for the Ravens to try to score from the 2-yard line. And then it took 4 plays for a Ravens game where they could have had the lead, or they at least were tied. 4 plays to make it a 2.
Is there any reason why? And I'm open to anybody, like, explain this to me like I'm 5. Any reason why a head coach would game plan for 2 quarterbacks to play in the same game?
They
like
didn't.
Because
they
But
did.
then
Because
why-
John Harbaugh straight lied to the fans like he
That's
does.
what I'm saying.
Like, especially when they asked Cooper Rush about it, and Cooper Rush was like, that's the first time I'm hearing this. Like, no, that was like, I wasn't expecting. Like, you can't say that to the media and not expect them to ask the other quarterback, like, oh, so what was it like,
Yeah.
with your guys' plan? And he's like, that wasn't the plan I was told. It's because I guess maybe John was trying to protect Cooper Rush which I don't know why you would protect your backup quarterback from thinking he was benched mid-game in a game that he sucked in. But I mean, it's just, this game was just a microcosm of the entire season. It starts out with just opportunity after opportunity after opportunity. You can go back into the first quarter, or I guess maybe beginning of the second quarter, the Ravens' third drive, because you had the field goal, then you had the Cooper Rush force it into like 9 separate guys in the middle of the field, gets intercepted. Then you had the immediate John Jenkins strip sack. Then you drive down the field. It's 4th and 3, 4th and 2. You call a timeout to get your best play. You don't hand it off to anyone. You throw a deep jump ball. Hey, Zay Flowers is going to win a jump ball. I don't know what the play call was there. Then the poor defense showed up for the first time this season, but it all came down to that 3-play really sequence from the 1-yard line, because it was one of those things. You tush push it, and this is where I am on that. If you are going to tush push it 2 times to get it to the inches line, you better tush push it a 3rd time. Like, it is at that point, you got to stop relying on this offensive line, because they're clearly not getting pushed. Like, you just got to try it again, hope for the best. It just either run it with Derrick Henry 3 times,
Yes,
or tush push it 3 times. But this whole sitting in between, we're going to get it up. The tush push works more effectively the closer you are. So, like, the closer they got, the less likely than they were to run it. I don't understand that. I get that they panicked, 4th down. Oh, let's just give it to Derrick Henry. I would have just simply tush pushed it again. Like, I feel like at that point,
pushing the tush.
Yeah, and that was the ball game, because you went from that to the Rams then leave half with all the momentum in the world. Then they come out, like you said, 4 minutes in, 5 minutes in, it goes from a 3-3 game to a 17-3 game. So really, in the span of 6 minutes of game time, it looked like the Ravens were going to go up 10-3 going into half, to suddenly now Cooper Rush has to be down 14 and try to complete a comeback. And I've even said things, let's say Cooper Rush forgot that Snoop was in the game plan. Maybe he wasn't paying attention to that part of the meeting. If this was part of the plan to bring Snoop in at some point, and we're potentially doing 2 quarterbacks, when you're on the 2-yard line, why, even if you are just handing it off to Derrick Henry, why is Snoop not in there just simply to give that illusion of, now the Rams do have to go, oh, did he keep it?
Yeah.
Nope. Okay. Okay. Like, just that split second is the difference between 2 guys getting in front of Derrick Henry and 2 guys having to reach their arms out to tackle Derrick Henry. That split second of, oh, did he keep it? Nope. Okay, it is Derrick. That could have been the difference. And now, obviously, Monday morning quarterbacking is, that's the easy stuff. But it just felt like another game where, yes, there were times where I was like, the players, you talk about the fumbles, the interceptions. I think those are obviously are on the players. But then there were some things coaching-wise where I'm like, like, what are we doing here? Like, it just felt like there were times where they could have been better and could have been in better situations. And like I said, a microcosm of the season, because worst case scenario happened.
Yeah. So right now, and again, this is all sports that I try to push out there because I'm not even mad, really. I'm not. I think, and you guys know, I always try to like go from the player's perspective of like, hey, tough shit, you got to go play. Like, if you have hope and you're a competitor, you got to show up. It's the bye week this week, I know, but you got to show up the next day and get ready. And from what at least I saw from this defense, guys, if this defense plays like they did, and you have Lamar coming back, and even if this offense has problems and Lamar is Lamar, the Ravens' record with and without Lamar is ridiculously impressive.
Yeah.
Because he is one of the best players, if not the most talented player in the NFL, right? So in this case, the Ravens held the Rams to 241 yards. The Ravens had 296 themselves on offense. They were 7 of 17 on third down. The Rams were 4 of 10. But the bigger part here is the circle and the number, guys. 3 turnovers to 1 by the Rams. And the Ravens, 7 penalties for 80 yards, and the Rams had 6 for 40. You held the leading receiver for the Rams had 40 yards, and that was Tyler Higbee. Now, Puka Nacua did get banged up earlier in the game, but if you had said you held Matthew Stafford to under 200 yards, that's a recipe for success for the Ravens. So if there's any bright spot here, guys, can the Ravens go on a run?
Yeah.
If Lamar Jackson plays, I think the answer is yes. But whether it's Cooper Rush or Tyler Huntley, I want to emphasize this. If you turn the ball over, it kills everything. And that goes back to week 1. The Ravens offense could do everything that they wanted to. And in the moment where Derrick Henry was brilliant all game, what killed everyone's momentum?
A fumble.
A fumble. The Ravens, in this case, you go for it at the goal line before the half. I consider that a turnover. It's not a turnover, but it is.
Yeah.
No points. Turnover. Then you actually have 2 physical fumbles in the second half. And that first play by Zay, that was a big chunk play. And then later on, you were on that side of the field. Momentum's there.
Yeah, in a time and place where the defense also isn't creating turnovers, it's amplified even that much more. I will say, to your point about Lamar Jackson, so shout out Sarah Ellison putting this tweet out earlier today. Points per game with Lamar Jackson this season was 32.8. Without him, 6.5. That's a staggering number. Yards per game, 338. Without Lamar Jackson, 251.8. So those are some pretty crazy numbers. I think there's been some narratives out there that even with a Lamar Jackson back, that the season isn't salvageable. Vegas has the 21% chance of the Ravens making the playoffs this season, even at a 1-5 record. That's kind of a pretty high number.
That's insane.
When you think about it. So having Lamar Jackson back will be an absolutely major deal. But yeah, the offense needs to figure some things out. The defense seems like they might be, but we'll see what happens after the bye.
Mm-hmm.
I will also say I understand that technically he never has in the regular season, but when the announcer yesterday, just insult to injury after Zay Flowers goes, I mean, that is the first time Zay Flowers has fumbled in his life.
Nope.
I was at the I was watching the NFC Championship with my own 2 eyes. Like I understand you looked at the stat sheet below and it gives regular season stats. It said 0 career fumbles, but it was not the first time Zay has.
Let me tell you about a fumble.
Yeah, I saw everyone.
Sit down for a second here.
Yeah, because I thought I was hearing things. I was like, oh, and actually, I got a text from my girlfriend. Molly was like, hey, like, oh, I didn't really you can't blame Zay. That's his first fumble. And I was like, regular season. I was like, I remember a very vivid Zay Flowers fumble every time I think of it.
And you know, one thing here, and a lot of people might disagree, or they might feel like, hey, change the coaching staff. And Harbaugh said, hey, nothing's changing, which, to be honest, I'm in the camp of leave everything as it is. Because here's one thing, for all the people that don't want John Harbaugh to be the coach anymore or Zach Orr to be gone, you're 1-5. The Ravens come back and they go on a glorious run. This could end up being, in their cases, could end up being the biggest turnaround in franchise history if they do it. But right now, the Ravens would never make a move during season, and they shouldn't. John Harbaugh and the staff, they've earned that right. So we're going to find out one thing, or one or two things here. The Ravens are either going to go on this impressive run, or you're going to see a team come together and unify, and who knows what can happen, or all the negative narratives will continue, and then we'll be looking at a whole different landscape of what the Baltimore Ravens would be in 2026. But one way or another, starting week 8, when the Ravens come back from their bye, we're going to see if Baltimore can get on a run. But we will also talk about what it means to a team and a organization. If you want to talk about dysfunction, you think Baltimore is a problem. Well, guess what? There's an organization that we want you to focus on, especially when their quarterback's coming out to talk about it. But before we do that, if you are new to the channel, hit that like and subscribe button. Ryan Ripken Show. We do this live every Monday, Thursday, and Sunday right here on YouTube, X, and Facebook. And shout out Merit Clubs, by the way. Shout out Merit Clubs. It's spooky season, guys, right now.
Hey, now.
I don't know how many. Have you guys watched any Halloween movies so far?
Not my jam.
You're not a Halloween guy?
I don't like scary movies.
But like Halloween, it doesn't have to be scary. Did you?
Nah, but most of them are. I'm not. Yeah.
So, yeah. So like you jump, like you.
Oh yeah, I get jumpy.
Oh yeah,
I can see that. He's a jumper.
Yeah.
I will say I'm a guy that I get scared, but I can't look away. Like,
I do
that, or like
this is a classic.
Yeah, or my other classic, this TV's over this way. I'm like, I can't watch. So I'll just do like this. I'll just stare the other way. But I want to hear it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'll just stare over here.
Now, like suspense type movies, I'm down with. Like, but you know, I just I and I'm the same way with like haunted houses. I'm not paying somebody to scare the shit out of me. Just not. I'd rather laugh my ass off or do something fun. Not trying to like have a chainsaw in my face.
My girlfriend is a massive scary movie, like loves scary movies. So I hate them. But over the past year, I've watched pretty much every scary movie now that has ever existed. And I'm one of those people where the entire time I'll be like, turn this off. Turn this off. I was like, this sucks. I was like, this is horrible. And then it's over and I'll sit back. I'll be like, no, that's a damn good movie.
Well, that's the other thing. Most scary movies, horror films have like terrible plots.
Yeah,
You're
but
just
they're
watching it for all
there's been some where, but there are a few where I've walked away and I'm like, you know, I know I said turn it off 50 times. Pretty damn good movie.
I'd watch that again. Yeah, I'll watch that again. I'll watch it.
I don't know.
Oh, you were too scared to watch it. And I love though if I watch it back though, and I know when it's coming.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you got scared? Come on. Come on. Come on.
I don't know. There's pornos that got better plots than some of these horror films.
Yeah, well, that can be for a whole different time of it. But I will say one of my favorite things is when the first Scary Movie ever came out, like Scary Movie, the Wayans brothers put out.
Oh, yeah.
And
those movies are great.
Oh, and so they're making fun of Scream, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And so Carmen Electra answers the phone and they ask her, what's your favorite scary movie? And she says, Shazam. And he goes, like, like, that's not a scary movie. And she goes, well, you haven't seen Shaq act? Like Shaquille O'Neal? Like, looking back, I'm like, that's kind of funny that you just ripped on the greatest center, of all time, the most dominant center. But then also, like, to escape death, it has, like, a knife, a gun, a grenade, and a banana.
Yeah.
And she grabs the banana, and it's like life, death takes the path to death. But honestly, that's like in the scary movies. You're like, you know what? If you're going down an alley, I had to check this out. I'll be up in a minute.
Yeah.
Who
also like walks into a dark house and never turns the light on?
Yeah.
Well, you're walking into a dark room. I'm not going to turn this light on, even though I think there's somebody in here that could kill me.
Hello?
Yeah.
Anyone there?
Well, it's like the what was that one commercial where I want to say it was like Geico or something.
Oh yeah, it was Geico.
Like, where it was like, everyone, let's go hide behind the chainsaws. Why don't we get into the running car? That's stupid. Everyone follow me.
You crazy?
And it's like, okay.
Like that's it right there. But seriously, it is my favorite. Like, actually, I'm going to go watch some scary, like actual scary movies. And I'm going to go and watch specifically moments like that where you go, yelling out if someone's there.
Yeah. You're an idiot.
Come on out. It's okay. It's okay. And then the worst thing happens.
That's like the Human Centipede's also right up there. Like, what the fuck is this movie?
Yeah, there's
now that movies, one I haven't watched.
I have not watched that either, just because I've seen enough of it to understand the plot and have seen enough scenes of it to be grossed out enough to be like, I don't need to watch a movie's worth of this plot.
Unbelievable. But that's spooky season, guys. Welcome. But Merit Clubs, by the way, guys, they're having their Black Friday sale savings starting early, not after Thanksgiving. Now you can join for just $1. No tricks, just treats this Halloween at Merit Clubs. Why wait until after the new year to feel your best? Kick off your wellness journey early with Merit's Black Friday savings sale. Just visit meritclubs.com to take advantage of $1 enrollment during their early Black Friday sale. Hey, how you doing? How's that for spooky season? And how do you spell merit money?
$1. That's how you spell merit. $1.
This is the worst case of the Mondays for Ryan of all time.
When you look back at what Mondays are,
Jesus.
watch this episode.
Christ.
How do you spell merit? I was like, that takes away the point of what we're doing.
God, I teed it up and everything.
You did. You did. Shout out Merit Clubs. We love them. They've been great.
God.
Oh, afternoon delight. Oh, well, it's been very dysfunctional today. I apologize. And I know a lot of people think the Ravens have been dysfunctional. But, guys, I think we need to go around to then this whole weekend. We're going to get to some postseason baseball later on in the show and baseball in general. But I think it's a good time to really do a little weekend wrap around here and kind of be like, what the hell's going on? Well, if you think dysfunction's bad in Baltimore, oh, buddy, let me tell you something. Have you seen what's been happening with the Miami Dolphins? Not just this year, but previous years. But right now, it's ugly. And not from the sense if you go and watch the games, they're competitive. They're there. They very well could have beaten the Chargers. Mm-hmm. Cameron Dicker the kicker, coming through again to win the game. The week before, they had a 17-point lead on the red-hot Carolina Panthers now, who just got to 3-3. But you're sitting there going, well, they're not that bad, but they're 1-5. Yeah. Well, it's not good when your starting quarterback, Tua Tagovailoa, after the game, you want to have the coach speak, or you don't want to say too much. You want to take accountability. Well, check out this. Tua just put a lot of players on the Miami Dolphins, and including his coaching staff, on blast in the press conference. Here it is for you.
Well, I think it starts with the leadership in helping articulate that for the guys, and then what we're expecting out of the guys, right? We're expecting this. Are we getting that? Are we not getting that? We have guys showing up to player-only meetings late, guys not showing up to player-only meetings. There's a lot that goes into that. Do we have to make this mandatory? Do we not have to make this mandatory? So it's a lot of things of that nature that we got to get cleaned up, and it starts with the little things like that.
To be clear, you're saying some players were late or missed?
Late, yeah.
Yep. Thank you.
So Tua not only put the players on blast, but also he's talking about the infrastructure of the Miami Dolphins. And it's kind of when he's saying we need to have the precedent of the mandatory meetings and what's mandatory, what's not. Well, we always like to get perspectives from former players. So, because we'll talk about it here on our opinions here in just one moment. But Teddy Bruschi played for the Patriots all those years, was considered a great leader on that team when he was there. He had an opinion on what Tua was doing here. So let's play that clip, and then we're going to react on the other side.
A player that's had enough. really. I mean, for the quarterback, usually, I mean, I always get irritated watching quarterbacks at press conferences because they say nothing, you know, and they're always the company line, and they're so buttoned up, and and they should be, because it's the quarterback, and you should sort of mimic or even copy what the head coach says. That message is the same. This is totally fractured from it now. This is Tua saying, I've had enough. I mean, I need help. And I'm not getting it from my head coach because I'm trying everything that I can to do it. I understand, right? 3 picks. He had 3 picks in the game, but still, I'm sure he's trying to do the right thing in the locker room. You failing on the field, sure, but still in the locker room, he's trying to do things that he feels he is alone. And others aren't doing that, and not even my coach is helping me do this. That's when you have frustration at the podium.
And there was some frustration at the podium because then there were some other people that were really critical of Tua, of saying, you got to keep that in-house. How can you air your dirty laundry? When Teddy's saying it looked like it got to a point. And this is where I'm curious from our audience, you know, where do you stand on this? Because there are players that have come out, or former players that have come out and voiced that, hey, you're blaming leadership, but you're a part of that leadership. Andrew Whitworth, you know, longtime left tackle, he had a tweet out about this. I'll pull it up for you guys to see. And he just essentially said one of my favorite phrases, "Wolf." And that's literally what he said. And they said, "Wolf, that's on you, bud." And here's that photo right here. Always play the under here, Zach. Over, under. Whammy. Wolf, that's on you, bud. So that clearly Andrew's saying, hey, this is not just on the coaching staff. But I got to tell you, guys, it does stem from the top. But go ahead, Brad.
No, I was just going to say there's been other players, Hall of Famers. In fact, Kurt Warner said something similar. He said being a pro means you have a standard that to hold yourself accountable to blame someone else for your lack of professionalism is a cop-out. You know, basically alluding to the fact of, hey, like you're part of the problem, essentially. You know, it's not just other players that are why this team is failing. You're the leader of the group. You're the captain of the ship, and the ship's sunk. You basically remember Jack Sparrow coming into port.
Yeah,
and he's just on top of the crow's nest as it comes in and sinks. That's where the Dolphins are right now.
I think it's fair to say, Zach, we're all in agreement. Mike McDaniel is not going to be the coach there for much longer.
No.
But, I mean, Zach, your take here on
the one thing that I feel like isn't getting talked about enough, and I forget where I saw it or what former player talked about, but in it he said, you know, guys are late to player-only meetings. If you're in week 6 and you've had multiple player-only meetings, that's a sign in and of itself of like where this organization is leadership-wise. If you feel the need to have multiple player-only meetings because you are that disconnected from the coaching staff and all that, like it happens. Things aren't going well. You have a players-only meeting to be like, hey, I know there are things that we can't say for, you know, let's air out grievances. Let's get this done here. That happens. That's fine. If you're having almost weekly player-only meetings, that's a sign in and of itself. But Brad, I agree. The ship is sinking in Miami faster than anyone. I don't want to say anyone could see it coming, because if you've been watching the past few years, it feels like they've been teetering. Even when they're good, they're at that line of, you're like, are they good? Like they'll randomly whip out 4 straight losses to bad teams, and you're like,
no. Well, they're 4 straight losses to good teams, and I'm glad you brought that up, because Tua has now moved to 6-17 against teams with a record of 500 or better.
Yeah, and so that's where people are going.
That's the worst percentage in NFL history, by the way.
So when we're looking at this, though, right, this is where you have the players saying, hey, you are the quarterback. The ones that are saying you're part of that issue, you got to be out there and going to make the plays. And to your point, the Dolphins, they've beaten up on the teams that they're supposed to beat up on, that are losing record teams, haven't beat the teams with a winning record. So far in their last 2 games, they lost 2 games by a combined 5 points. They had a 17-point lead on the road last week against Carolina. And then against the Chargers, you're winning this game at home.
Yeah.
And then at least to his credit, you know, they did lead a game-changing drive to go ahead. And then Justin Herbert escaped the tackle, threw it to Ladd McConkey, and then he got a big game. And also, if you want to see hustle and work ethic,
Oh.
Haskins on that play, by the way, was a huge reason why McConkey ended up getting another 15 yards, by the way. So go back and watch that if you want to talk about hustle. But let's talk about culture. It is so important. And I think the Dolphins have been under so much, really, I feel like they've been under so much fire ever since like the first year of Mike McDaniel. Like, I think everyone was like, look at them. Tua's finally shown his upside. And then the concussions have happened and he's missed time, so they couldn't tell what's going on there. And then the last like year plus, right, you're starting to see the water leak through the cracks.
Yeah.
And now it feels like it's knocking on the door there, and you feel like it's going to just break through. Because quite frankly, you look at these games this season, the first one against the Colts was an embarrassing loss. Every other game they were in, they had a chance. And you could argue the Bills, that's an uphill battle, but like they had the ball, one score game at Buffalo inside the 35 and Tua threw a pick. So whether it's his play hasn't been up there, but I think where I'm trying to connect the dots here, Brad or Zach, is no doubt there's issues in the locker room. You know, if your quarterback's coming out to say this, and so many people have talked about something being wrong, but I wouldn't say it's a lack of the effort on the field. Like, they've been in the positions. They like, I think it's a way different way. If they win a couple games, are you still saying that out loud? Or is it because you lost these close games again and again?
Well, and that's the frustration boiling over. It's to the point where nothing's improving. You know, it's the same shit, different week. It's the Dolphins are close. Nope, they're not going to win this. Oh, this back-breaking play. Oh, this or that. And it does feel like the same. And then, I'm sure it's frustrating when you do that. And, Mike McDaniel goes up there after you have another heartbreaking loss and just puts out the corniest line of all time, which was like, it was fun and quirky when he first got there and they were winning ball games. And now it's just like, dude, just say what you need to say. Like, you don't need and I think his message is just kind of dried up there. I think it is gotten stale. For a while it was this offensive mastermind and all this. And now they really haven't adjusted, it feels like, a whole lot since then, and the league has adjusted to them.
Yep.
And so now you sit back, if you're Tua, what do you say? It's like he's clearly frustrated. The whole team's frustrated. It feels like everyone knows that they're playing for tape somewhere else. You have Tyreek Hill. I mean, the optics going into this season were horrible. Like, you had Tyreek Hill straight up be like, hey, I'm out of here. I do not want to be a part of this shit show. And then, like, before the season, he was like, yeah, I'm sorry, guys. Like, I'll play. And then you had Mike McDaniel and Tua being like, yeah, like, we're still working through things with Tyreek. It's like, I don't know if this should be public information, all this stuff that's coming out about, like, and it wasn't like, oh, reports are saying things are still working through it. Like, they were publicly coming out to say, hey, no, things aren't all bright and dandy here. We got to work through some things. Like, that fractured relationship is still fractured to the point where even when they weren't dead and gone in the season, people were still like, oh, where's Tyreek going this year? Even if they're winning, where's Tyreek going? Because he doesn't want to be there. Just dysfunction at its purest form in Miami.
Yeah.
The Dolphins need to do two things. They need to get rid of Mike McDaniel and draft themselves a quarterback.
They need to fire Chris Greer or whatever. Needs that. He's been the GM there for like, Lord knows how long, but it's been like 5 years too many. They need to just, I've seen so many.
Well, the thing is, they have talent on the team that could win games. They just, in my opinion, Tua is just not the guy. He just isn't. And I already showed it to you, 6-17 now against teams over 500. He's just not the guy that's going to win you games. And Mike McDaniel certainly isn't that guy anymore.
Here's the thing. They have not won the division since 2008. It's the last time they won the division.
Wasn't that when was that the year that Tom Brady had a knee injury? Was out for the season?
Had to be.
I think it was, or it might have been the Jets that year. I can't remember. I think 2008 was the year the Ravens played him in the postseason. Chad Pennington was the quarterback. But they lost in the wild card to the Ravens.
Yeah, Chiefs versus Patriots 2008 week 1 is when Bernard Pollard
Her
Tours.
Tom Brady.
Yeah.
So
So
there
there
it
you
was.
go.
11-5.
So that's like a default win.
Yeah, there's an asterisk with
So they've had 3 playoff appearances since 2016. They had 2 straight under McDaniel in 2022 and 2023.
Yep.
I think for a lot of people, when they want to talk about the frustrations, when you look at it for the Baltimore Ravens or other teams that have down years, and you can try to look at it and go, is it injuries? Is it coaching? Is it scheme? But one thing, at least in Baltimore, the track record has been there to go, hey, you can disagree or whether or not you think there needs to be a new voice. The Baltimore Ravens have won a lot of football games since John Harbaugh's been the coach. So you could say, hey, if you need a new voice to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
But what they've built here hasn't been a problem. In Miami, after year 1, where everyone said they've unlocked Tua, it felt like no one sat there and said, this is what the Dolphins are. This is who they want to be. And I think that's the biggest part. What do the Miami Dolphins want to be moving forward? They got playmakers. You talked about it. They got guys on both sides of the ball, and yet they're at 1-5, and they're still wondering, how do they go from being a team that's not just trying to make the playoffs, but how do they go to being a contender?
Yeah.
And that's something that at least
Just
for
being
this year-
competitive.
well, hey, they've been competitive. But they've been stuck in that same gear the last 3 years. They've been 9-8, 11-6, 8-9, and now they're 1-5.
That's just mid. Yeah.
They haven't won a playoff game. The Miami Dolphins, you want to go back? They have not won a playoff game since 2000.
Whew.
Yeah.
I believe.
Ain't going to happen this year.
Unless they got a bye in that one, I believe it's been since 2000. 25 years.
Yeah, that's wild.
So we talk about all these things, but you're talking about an identity. Miami Dolphins are trying to find it, but for now they're sticking at 1-5, and they got to try to right the ship down there. Well, if you're new to the channel, hit that like and subscribe button. If you want to be a channel member and join the Rips Better Kids, Rips Good Kids, Rips Better Kids, we send out a newsletter on some picks that we have, some exclusive content, members-only chats, and we are going to have some more members-only streams upcoming. Am I missing anything there, Brad?
Nope.
Nope. Well,
Subscribe. Hit the join button next to subscribe.
that's it. That's it. You know what? That's it. Yeah, tensions are high down in Miami. I think that's safe to say. Fireworks kind of flew last night. Did you guys catch the end of the Lions Chiefs game?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So, actually, I still thought it was a good game. I thought the Chiefs played well. I know that they became the first team in a long time, penalty-wise, to not commit a penalty.
Allegedly.
But the Chiefs were the better team last night if you watched the game. Patrick Mahomes was great. The Chiefs were great. But that's not what people were talking about this morning when you woke up. Why? Well, if you turn the game off when the clock hit 0, there was an altercation after the game between Brian Branch of the Detroit Lions and Juju Smith-Schuster. And actually, as we're recording this live, guys, Branch just got hit with a 1-game suspension.
Mm-hmm.
Right, Zach? Am I missing anything on that one right now?
Nope, it's just 1 game at the moment without pay.
So one game he's suspended. So you're probably wondering what happened. Well, let's go through the sequence of this. So the game's over, and Patrick Mahomes is trying to reach out to offer a good game handshake. And Brian Branch wasn't having that. Then that led to some words between Juju and Brian, and then the rest is history. Do we have that clip that we can play? Here we go.
Oh.
So there's
Juju tried playing that off like
initially, and then he got up. He's like, you know what? I'm getting in there.
You know, I saw someone pointed out, and I think it's true. You can see the exact time where Juju is like, "Oh, I'm going to do the fake, like, oh, he knocked me out," and then he was like, "You know what? Actually, let me talk shit." And he was like, it was like he was going to go with the bit of like, "Oh, he knocked me out," like flop, and then halfway through, he was like, "Actually, you know what? I'm getting in this."
Yeah.
So right there, and it all ensues. And Branch afterwards, and I think I have, Zach, I think I have it queued up, his press conference. I thought I put it in there. Is it not in there?
I don't see it.
I thought I put it in. That's my bad. I have it. I wanted to hear Brian Branch explain what was going on, but in the meantime, the reason why they're saying everything, it's not a good look, right? You lose the game. Now you're going to be suspended a game. And Dan Campbell, then we'll start with him. Dan Campbell, after in the presser, that was the first thing he said was, this is not what we're going to do regardless of the circumstance. Brad, can you play that clip?
This, I love Brian Branch, but what he did is inexcusable, and it's not going to be accepted here. It's not what we do. It's not what we're about. I apologize to Coach Reed and the Chiefs and and Schuster. That's not okay. That's not what we do here, and it's not going to be okay. He knows it. Our team knows it, and so that's not what we do.
But we bite kneecaps off, Coach.
But while the play's still going on, in between the lines until the whistle blows, right? And but in that case, Brian Branch was extremely frustrated.
Yeah.
And look, for the defense for the Lions, they are really banged up. And when you're on the field, this isn't every sport, but more so like I feel like when you play in a team sport that there's a lot of jawing, especially football, where you can get pushed a certain way, knocked off, and there's a lot of trash talking. Like I try to think in baseball. Baseball, you can have a little bit of trash talking, but it's kind of hard to do that on the play to play or pitch to pitch.
Yeah.
Football, it can be play to play, And Brian Branch, while apologetic, Zach, did you find the clip? While apologetic, he was trying to explain why he did this because he felt that Juju put him in a position earlier in the game.
In the play, and refs don't catch it. Like, they be trying to bully me out there. Should have never did it. It was childish.
How do you process the way it went down for you guys tonight? Just having a winning streak snapped and coming in here against a tough opponent.
We beat ourselves, honestly.
What happened between the play? What are you referring to?
I got blocked in the back illegally, and it was in front of the ref. The ref didn't do anything, and just stuff like that. And I could have got hurt off of that, but I still shouldn't have done that. So
that was at the end of the game. You're talking about somebody hit you in the back. Juju hit you in the back.
Yes.
So Juju in particular was the one that hit you? Or,
yes.
Yeah. Were there other things that they were doing just in terms of maybe rubbing it in at the end?
Yeah, they were. There was a lot of stuff, but I should have showed it between the whistle, not after the game, and I apologize for that.
What sort of discipline, if any?
So he's saying he was frustrated. He was ticked off from Juju blocking him in the back, and then also saying he felt like he was getting bullied. And then they were pushing the envelope a little bit more, talking trash. So here's the thing: in sports, and you guys, for anyone that's listening, who's been in that situation, when you're on the field, shit happens. Shit just absolutely happens here. So what you got to remember is, as mad as you get on the field during the moments of the game, who cares, man? Because it's always the second guy. You could say, hey, they missed the calls. It was right in front of them. Well, who cares? They didn't call it. In a game, though, if that was the case, could you get him back? No.
Well, and here's my thing, too. Like, I totally agree with that, Ryan. My thing is, like, I don't understand. I'm not going to buy into any conspiracy theory. I do think that this game was awfully officiated, and in the effect of things weren't called. Brian Branch, it boiled over for him, and he shouldn't have reacted, but he did get blocked in the back. And I just find it weird that so far 42 penalties have been called on the Chiefs, averaging 8.4 penalties per game, 13 in week 5. It's just, what are the odds that 0 get called last night?
No, I agree.
I
agree with the sense of like a team didn't commit any penalties in a game. It kind of seems crazy in this day and age,
given the way that things have gone with them this year.
For sure. But in my mind, this is just always how I was. As pissed off as I am, what good is this going to do you after the game? So like that's my point. It can boil over and you can be ticked off, and you can go to the press after and say these refs are terrible. You're going to get fined.
Yeah.
The problem right now, what happens is whether you like the calls or you like what happened on the field, you do something stupid after the whistle, and in this case, your team's already hurt. Now they're missing one of their best defensive players, and they're already down. I believe the Lions play the Tampa Bay Bucks next week.
They do.
That's a huge game.
Yeah.
So, like, that's my part. And as someone on a team, when you have aspirations, and I could look at that, and that's how Dan Campbell's looking at it, is like, hey, that's not who we are. Am I happy about what they did? Is Dan Campbell happy about some of the calls that were made in the game? Absolutely not. Some of it can be absolute bull. But if you go and do that and you succumb to somebody else saying that's bullying you, and again, maybe I've come from that where there's people out there that like intentionally will provoke you. And I guarantee you some of those Chiefs players, they want to get under your skin.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
all part of it.
It's all part of it. You guys remember those times like Aaron Donald after the game, put his helmet on, go up to somebody else, get right in their face, and be like, hey, I'll ask you a question. You want the smoke? And if they interact, something happens.
Yeah.
Well, that's Aaron Donald. No one wants to really mess with Aaron Donald, period. But the bigger part is when you're pissed off, you got to try to remind yourself, could I do something to harm the team? And that's the bigger part. You can be as mad as you want, but the Detroit Lions now are going to be missing arguably, I think Aiden Hutchinson's probably their most impactful defensive player. Brian Branch, as far as an X factor, he's up there. They're already missing Terry and Arnold, right? He's already out.
Yeah.
It's dumb. It's just dumb for that case. So, and you're letting the Chiefs, it's insult to injury for them. They beat your ass. You're mad. And they get under your skin, and now you're going to have to miss a game. In the most, which is that the Bucks are rolling.
Yes.
And the Bucks are down. So, like, this is a really good opportunity, but I don't know. I'm with I've been in situations where I've done dumb things as a player, so I will say that. But never after it do I feel better about it. Does that make sense? Like, yeah. I don't feel good after I did. Like, I think that it would give me gratification. The only time I feel gratified by doing something is if I play them again and I whoop their ass.
Yeah, I don't know if he was even looking for gratification at that point. I think he was just so upset about plays not getting called, and then, then getting beat, and then it getting rubbed in even more. It just boiled over. I mean, he obviously was remorseful after the fact, so I don't think that he would disagree with your sentiment. I'm just saying that, like, if you are officiating this game and you're officiating it so poorly, stuff like this is bound to happen.
For sure. I would expect, though, more that he would have just been critical in the media. He would have taken a fine.
But that doesn't change anything.
But does it change anything with what happened?
No, I'm just saying, like, my point is that this could escalate even more than just bashing referees in the locker room. And it has. And I could see it escalating even more if things just don't get fixed.
I think in this case, he was, besides the officiating, has some point at the officiating, but I think he's more pissed at the people that did it to him than that the officiating just missed it.
Would he have been as pissed had it been called, though?
I don't know that them losing the game. I think that afterwards he was more pissed off with Juju Smith-Schuster and maybe Mahomes. I think he's more pissed about them than the refs missing the call. If they called it and they still lost and Juju's talking smack, I think he might go smack him still. Because if they still win the game and Juju's running his mouth and it almost hurt him, because he's just saying right there, if the play gets called, he just said, he goes, that could have hurt me. Well, okay, if they call the play, they call it a hold or a block in the back, but Juju could have hurt you. They won the game and Juju's still talking smack. I've been in those situations where you want to do something still like that. So that's where I guess my mindset goes. But here's the thing. If you can go to the media and you can get fined because you say something, okay, does it change anything? No, but you know what changes? You're getting fined and you're getting suspended.
Yeah.
Like that's where I'm sticking at it as, is that you let the Chiefs then, however you felt, and if you think Juju's the instigator with all this shit.
I feel like we've been talking about Juju being an instigator for his entire career.
That's his MO.
Like, this is literally like the Steeler thing with all the TikTok dances on the logos and all that. I just feel like every year there's at least one moment where there's some sort of scuffle or something. The opposing player's like, yeah, I was tired of Juju. Like, I was just tired of him.
Yeah, I mean, I think back to like all the epic fights in games. I don't think it ever it boils over that they're not getting the call. I think it's that person just pisses them off so much. You know what I go back to is the Andre Johnson, Cortland Finnegan fight, like all the way back, Titans, Texans, where Andre Johnson just took off Cortland's helmet and just started whacking him. Andre Johnson, who's like this, seems like he's a calm dude. And then AJ Green, all of a sudden going after Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah.
And so that was my point. I think Brian Branch, you're right, Brad. Was he mad that they didn't call it? Absolutely. But I think the fact that they lost and the person that did it to him, I think led to him being more pissed off. And I think Mahomes, there was a thing we can't know, but I think Mahomes was jabbing at him too during the game.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't shake his hand walking off.
Yeah. I think it was on the touchdown. If you go back and look at it, I think he wiped him off. Now, they're saying sportsmanship. If that was the case, then they probably should have called Mahomes for a penalty.
Taunting.
But there
was definition of literally like the entire NFL's. They're like, people taunt, we're throwing the flag.
Oh,
and Mahomes taunting. They were like,
yeah, the Chiefs are notorious for taunting.
Yeah,
they're notorious for that.
Yeah, you know, I'm cool with let the guys play, but if you're going to emphasize sportsmanship, then
that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that like whether it's right or wrong. If you're going to call
I agree.
taunting, then call it.
Well, that's what I'm saying is that they say in the play the emphasis, emphasis this year, Zach, the emphasis.
It's what the
sportsmanship.
If you even look at the other guy, it's a flag unless you're on the Chiefs. Apparently this year, like it's just that's.
What was the final numbers for this line for the? Here it was. I wanted to look at it one more time. One more time. Yeah. Penalties. Only 4 penalties total in the game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was one of the quickest moving games I've seen in a long time.
I don't know. Did you see the Ravens play the Rams? That game felt like it was 2-minute warnings at 3:35.
Yeah. Well, I was also just saying from the aspect because of the first 2 drives from like both teams. I mean, the first drive for the Lions was sort of like the Ravens where it just took up like half the quarter. So yeah, it was not a lot of pretty clean game. Now, some of the things weren't called to make it look cleaner, but
or you know, things were added because there was a technicality. That whole Jared Goff, the trick play to start. By the way, he like caught it off the guy's helmet. Like he didn't catch it cleanly. You know, that 4th down to start the game.
Yeah.
Did you have Jared Goff first touchdown?
No, but I've seen a lot of people. I didn't realize he was plus 2,200 just to score straight up. So there were a lot of people. Yeah, it was like plus, gosh, it was like close to 50,000 for him for first touchdown. So if you had that, or plus 10,000, I'm so sorry. Yeah, and I just like there are some times where it's just like this league. And like you get like the optics of it looks so bad. You have the head of officiating or whatever coming on. And he's like, this probably could be called it, but this isn't a reviewable play. You're not able to go look back at this, so this has got to stand. And then the announcer immediately, and looks like they're taking a look real fast and going to talk this. Oh, they just threw the flag, so they are going to change this. And it's like,
they go. It's not reviewable unless you meet for a huddle.
Yeah,
and discuss.
Well, it was like the Chiefs. Who did they just play last week on prime time? Jaguars. It was that first play to first touchdown to Travis Kelce. Throw the flag for pass interference. Yeah, no, this is textbook. That is a good call. I really like this. Good call by the refs. There is no flag for pass interference. It's like, unless Mahomes walks up to you and tells you, hey, we don't. And I love Mahomes. No, it's within 1 yard. Telling everyone they're running a pass interference play. They're just legally trying to do it. So it's like they know what they're doing. They're getting away with it. I didn't watch. Maybe Juwan Taylor false started 50 times yesterday, and I just wasn't paying attention, but he seems to like to do that as well.
Hold on. Did you see this block in the back, by the way?
On Juju?
Yeah.
Do you have the play?
I do have the play.
Yeah, it was
because
it's very
again, not condoning what happened, but I don't blame the guy for this. So I'm just gonna share my screen just because it's easier.
Yeah, share that puppy.
But so here's the play. Look at the right side of your screen here as this play develops. So number 32 is Branch there. Watch this play develop. And this is why I'm like, this is such bullshit that this thing get called. You got two refs watching this whole thing happen. You're telling me you didn't see that?
And
he gets leveled, like doesn't see Juju coming and gets absolutely leveled. Right here. Boom.
Very far.
And so this goes,
and he's taunting him after the fact.
So this is to my point about whether it gets called or not. I think Brian Branch would be so pissed. And like, you're right. If that happened to me and someone hit me, I would also be pissed.
Yeah.
Whether it's called or not called. I think his vendetta was more of on Juju and the Chiefs.
Yeah.
That's just what I'm saying. And now
For
the
sure.
reality is he didn't have a chance to get him in the game. And back then, I'll say, we play in a day and age or sports. I told you guys some story about old baseball, old school, getting back at people.
Yeah.
Chipper Jones has talked about that. My dad's talked about it. I mean, heck, all those guys have talked about how you get back playing baseball. In football, you know how you got back? Well, you better be careful.
Yeah.
When Ray Lewis played and Ed Reed, before they changed the defensive rules, head on a swivel.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't think Brian Branson had an opportunity. And guess what? If he did, he would have been probably suspended for a hit or fined or whatever it would be.
Yeah.
So, I think that further validates call or no call. I think Brian Branch, he had it with Juju. So, woof, man, that's just where the cookie crumbles here for the Lions. Hell of a team, good player.
Yeah.
And the Chiefs, guys, whether people like it or not, you can say all the reasons. The Chiefs are back at 500, only a game out of their division, and
Rashee Rice comes back next week.
Rashee Rice is back.
Oh, yeah.
You know. Anyway,
Gosh, what a time.
what a time here. God, it's good to see everybody. Did I miss any other football stories from
Yes.
this weekend? I did. What do you have?
Well, not a story, but I do have another poll out. It's been out for a minute.
Oh, pull us up.
The MVP of the NFL is,
Oh,
yeah. My options are Dak Prescott, Baker Mayfield, Josh Allen, or Justin Herbert. And 78% of the vote is Baker Mayfield.
Glad people know ball in this chat.
Yeah.
Glad people know ball,
so
as he should be.
I'm glad you brought that up, Brad, because the Lions, who we just mentioned, they are playing the Bucks.
Yeah.
Next week. I think it's Monday Night Football
I believe so.
in Detroit, and the Tampa Bay Bucks are already down their top 3 wide receivers. Emeka Egbuka, who then, going into the preseason, because they put Egbuka, let's say we put him at 3 or 4.
Yeah.
They had McMillan, Godwin down. Then Mike Evans gets hurt. Egbuka seems like he's the guy. He gets hurt last game. You're also down Bucky Irving, and guess what? You're 5-1.
Yeah.
You're 5-1 going to Detroit. So in this case, why everyone's saying Baker Mayfield? He has been absolutely sensational regardless of who's been out there. And I think Rex Ryan today on Get Up really validated why Baker Mayfield should. So, Brad, can we play that clip?
Not even close. I mean, this guy is playing. I mean, it's phenomenal. And the fact, let's face it, at the biggest moments, he's at his best.
Yep.
I mean, it's how many of these 4-quarter comebacks are we going to see? This one, you get a free runner, well-designed defense, free runner. He knows he's going to get smashed. He lays it in there. And this, it's just absolutely absurd. Finds a guy that I don't know who the hell this guy is.
Johnson.
So the fact that Rex going, I don't even know who the hell that is.
Yeah.
MVP.
MVP. Did you see that, Brad? That
Yes.
Tez thought that he was. That
Yeah.
People were chanting
He
MVP.
thought he was the MVP.
Yeah.
Yes, I did see that.
But on that play before that long touchdown, it actually makes me laugh when earlier on NBC, Chris Collinsworth, when Mahomes ran and got hit by 3 guys, he's like, which quarterback? No quarterback in the league is taking those hits, and it's actually Baker Mayfield on 3rd and 14.
Well, I mean, Chris
on that play.
Collinsworth wants to get Patrick Mahomes naked. That's basically how that rolls.
Well,
Anytime Chris Collinsworth has a chance to talk about Patrick Mahomes,
It
he's
was on
talking.
a play that Patrick Mahomes didn't even get the first down.
Yeah.
Like, they punted. They punted the next play.
so Baker though, which was incredible, is he eludes the tackle, the sack, runs, takes a hit, and extends his hand out for the first down. And then the next play, I believe, is that 49-yard touchdown pass to Tez Johnson. And Baker Mayfield, the common denominator here is the Bucs aren't where they are at the top of their division, near the top of the NFC without Baker Mayfield. Brad, you wanted to mention it last week, but nobody is playing the better position of quarterback than Baker Mayfield right now.
Yeah, I was a big fan of Baker being in the lead of the MVP race last week, and this further solidified it this week. To your point, he's got nobody that he thought he was going to be throwing to at the beginning of the season, and continues to just absolutely light up. Plus the swagger factor. I know that this shouldn't play a game or play a factor in the MVP conversation, but just like the aura that surrounds this guy has been awesome. Also, I find it ironic that Rex Ryan's talking so highly about Baker Mayfield when, way back when he was playing for the Browns, he was a 1-read quarterback and wasn't going to make it in the NFL.
Yeah.
It's a little ironic, but yeah. I also think that, correct me if I'm wrong, he has the most wins as on a second team, or like it's in the top 5 as a second team franchise quarterback, what have you. And that's in the same rarefied air as Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, someone else. Anyways, he's balling out there.
And it's technically his 4th team.
Yeah.
Like Baker, this is the crazy thing, right? And it's a good reminder. We see all the quarterbacks around the NFL. If you want to draft one, we mentioned this last show, draft a guy. That's the number one goal. You draft, develop, he becomes your franchise quarterback. If you don't give up on the guy or the talent, because they were drafted where they were because they didn't lack talent. Now, there are guys that can flame out. Jamarcus Russell is one that people can look back to all those years of being the guy, throw the ball 80 yards from his knees.
Yeah, I mean, and that's also just if a guy doesn't want to be great, a guy doesn't want to be great. That's the biggest thing is some guys like Jamarcus Russell, all the talent in the world, just mentally the biggest inconveniences in his life was football.
That and certainly was.
Yeah.
Then there's guys like Kyle Bowler, who I know that worked extremely hard, but just couldn't process the plays quick enough. That was with guys I talked with that played back in the day, like put the effort in, just didn't have it. Then there's guys like Josh Rosen, who was supposed to be the guy and didn't work out at all, and he's out of the league. But then there's Baker Mayfield that had success in the league. Like first year, second year, Baker Mayfield led the Browns to the playoffs. His third year, COVID year, 26 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. They go to Pittsburgh and win a playoff game.
The Pittsburgh Steelers.
And then he became the scapegoat for the Browns.
Yep.
Oh, well, they're not winning, and he played hurt. And everyone wrote him off. He was playing defensive tackle on the practice squad for the Carolina Panthers. And then he goes to the Rams, helps them win a couple games, and then signs on to battle it out with Kyle Trask after Tom Brady retires and wins the job. And now
hasn't looked back.
He's got 12 touchdowns, 1 interception on this season.
Yeah.
Coming off a 41 touchdown season the previous year. And the previous year, 28 touchdowns and 10 interceptions, 2 consecutive 4,000 passing yard seasons. If you don't like Baker for any reason, you got to respect his game. But I don't know why you wouldn't like him. He is true to who he is, and he didn't change. But now he's having the opportunity, and he's thriving. Maybe it's just the year of the I don't want to say the forgotten quarterbacks, but people wanted to write off Baker. Daniel Jones and the Colts are 5-1.
Yeah.
Sam Darnold and the Seahawks are 4-2, and they won on the road again. Can't win at home.
I know.
But go on the road and win. Yeah. It's incredible to see. So Baker MVP, Zach, your MVP?
Without a doubt.
But it's not Vegas's MVP.
Which I don't understand.
Yeah, so far, according to Vegas, the front runners are Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes are the front.
What's Baker's odds right now?
Last I checked.
I think he's 4th in the odds, I want to say.
Yeah.
That's incredible to think.
It is incredible. 4th? Are you kidding me? And Josh Allen and the Bills haven't played anybody in my opinion, they haven't played anybody that would be worthy of calling Josh Allen the MVP other than the fact that he had it last year. Maybe that's why. But they haven't played other than the Ravens. Yeah. The teams that they've played and beaten haven't been great teams, and they've lost to the Patriots.
Yeah.
Find the talent.
Vegas is saying it's a 3-person race. They're saying Josh Allen is, I would say, a pretty heavy favorite now to win the MVP. They're then saying Mahomes is right behind him, and then a little bit further back, plus 470 is Baker Mayfield. And then if you want to go to Jared Goff at plus 1,500, Jordan Love, Drake May.
Yeah, Dak isn't even in that conversation.
Well, that was the funny thing with everyone saying Dak is playing at the highest level, which, by the way, the Cowboys and Dak, he's playing very well.
Yeah, also playing garbage teams.
But the point of it being is the Bucks are 5-1, and they are 5-1 as a direct correlation because their quarterback has been the one on these game-winning drives, down players, making the plays.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean they don't have a great team, but Baker single-handedly, when you're talking about if we're talking about the value and the numbers, it's been Baker. Patrick Mahomes, for ones that want to doubt him, hey, Mahomes having a great start to the year. He had 11 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. The dude is starting to put it up, and he's got 222 rush yards on the season and 4 touchdowns. So,
you know what's crazy?
My thing is last year all we heard was that Josh Allen's going to be the MVP because he's done more with less. And if we're going to carry that same narrative onto this year, it has to be Baker Mayfield.
I also think it's crazy. I saw this yesterday. So the Bucks are obviously 5-1 now. That yesterday was the first time this season that the Buccaneers have ran victory formation. That's how many last second
wins that they've had.
Field goal. So what, like 3 by field goal and then 1 on the fight. Yeah. So that's the first time this season that the Buccaneers at 5-1, it was their first time kneeling the ball out to win.
Good for them, man.
Yeah.
Good for them. And yes, the Vegas, they're trying to play the odds of what's it going to be in the long term. If you're going to say right now, do I believe in what Baker Mayfield is doing and the Tampa Bay Bucks? Yes. And I think at the Tampa Bay Bucks, especially seeing how their injuries play out here and they continue to win and he stacks those W's, they go on the road and beat Detroit. I know they're banged up, but you win those games without your big dogs.
Yep.
That's really impressive. And the news is right now, Bucky Irvin is out for week 7. Chris Godwin is out for week 7. Up in the air, but probably on the more questionable, doubtful side will be Igbuka because he left.
They've already said he's
out too.
I believe let me not. I believe that it was in
that whole thing right there.
Yeah, I think that he was also including that, but I'm not. Sorry, he said Bucky Irving and Chris Godwin are not going to play, it looks like. But I haven't seen anything on Igbuka.
Or Mike Evans, who still hasn't played in some weeks. And by the way, speaking of Emeka Igbuka, fun little fact on betting. Apparently, the Fanatics Sportsbook refunded $1.5 million in prop bets on Emeka Igbuka after he injured his hamstring during the game.
Yeah, shout out Bet365 as well. They did that for me.
It's the largest single payout in the history of the fair play injury protection policy.
Wow.
Everyone's on Igbuka.
Everyone's on him. And why not? He was balling.
Sensational.
He was sensational. He has been a rookie that everyone's been talking about. On the flip side, there's been a lot of talk about rookie quarterbacks in Cleveland, but not for actually what's been happening, Brad. Browns, Dylan Gabriel went on the road, lost to the Steelers handedly. You know, Rocco's singing, he's waving his towel somewhere. I mean, seriously. But brutal game. Browns lose again. Steelers own the Browns. Now the Steelers get the Bengals. And I was saying, I guess I didn't realize this, but you said Mike Tomlin does this a lot more, calls out people, but specifically people in his division.
And oh my God, he shits on John Harbaugh all the time.
Well, he didn't hold anything back talking about Andrew Berry, GM, president of their operations over there with the Cleveland Browns. He just said, hey, I didn't think that it's a smart move, and I'm not going to tell you how to do your job, but I'll tell you that I don't like what you're doing.
You know, to be honest, it was shocking to me. Andrew Berry must be a lot smarter than me or us, because it doesn't make sense to me to trade a quarterback that you think enough of to make your opening day starter to a division opponent that's hurting in that area. But that's just my personal feelings.
He must be a lot smarter than me and our team and everyone else here. Again, no shots or that he held
No.
back there at all. I mean, they've dominated Cleveland for years, but it is interesting. That
Everybody's
game
dominated Cleveland for years.
it has, but I'll tell you what, that Thursday night game with Joe Flacco, because guess who was slinging the ball a little bit down the second half there in Green Bay?
Yeah.
Tell you what, man.
On Jamar.
Jamar's down there
Jamar.
somewhere. I'll tell you what, he was down there on that touchdown.
Oh, yeah.
Jamar, hey, a hell of a throw by Joe, maybe a hell of a catch by Jamar Chase.
But that, hey, it's what we were asking, what, Bengals fans and stuff. It wasn't always about like, oh, is the talent that much more than Jake Browning and all that? Jake Browning obviously a little more mobile at his age. It was the fact that Flacco, a lot of that play, I would say 80% of it is Jamar Chase, incredible catch, incredible play to make the touchdown. You need a guy who can get it to him. You need a guy who can put it in the area of him. And Jake Browning probably puts that throw 10 feet in the air above him. It's uncompetitive. We'll see you next week.
That's just it, man. Like Joe Flacco can still sling that ball.
Just put it near him.
Yeah.
And you know what? I think the bigger part watching that game was the decisiveness with his throws. It was Joe, unless it was covered or no one was open, immediately was, okay, I'm getting this ball out quick. Like to the tight end or I'm throwing it. He had an idea. With Jake Browning, the problem was it seemed like he maybe held it too long. Joe, if it's not there, he's either chucking it into the out of bounds, or he's just chucking it deep, or to the other part
Dump
of it.
pass.
This is the pros and cons with Joe. Joe will then sometimes, we got to get down the field, go deep. Let's do a 2-yard check down.
Arm
he
punt.
will do that, or he will arm punt.
Diddle.
Yeah, he will arm punt.
But
So getting back to the Tomlin comments, this is just par for the course for the Browns, right? Dylan Gabriel obviously was going to be the future. They drafted him in the 3rd round for a reason, but you don't draft or you don't sign Joe Flacco just to have him for the first quarter of your season and then bring in Dylan Gabriel, especially the week before you're about to face the Steelers. It didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. I'm 100% with Mike Tomlin on this one. This is just par for the course for the Browns organization.
Yeah, I mean, look, you say you make deals to make, if it's a good deal for your organization, you take it regardless of who it's to. But at the same point of it is, it goes back to what was the plan? What was your plan at quarterback this year? What are you trying to do? And we know that eventually,
and there's still the Shador drama.
So you knew that a rookie quarterback was going to get a chance. I don't think that's the problem. But when you're looking at it going, what was the full plan for the Browns? Crazy thing is that they're 1-5, same record as the Ravens.
Yeah.
Their defense has played well. They have been in games. In that game, they gave up 23 points to the Steelers. But the problem was their offense couldn't score.
Right.
So who knows? But the Steelers, they're 5-1 for a reason. They're not beating themselves, and they got a chance to beat another divisional opponent on Thursday night. And it gets a little bit more interesting because Mr. Joe Flacco is going to be throwing the football as the Bengals take on the Steelers.
Ryan, did you see how Tomlin ended his press conference today?
No.
Let's play it.
Well, you guys were annoying me today with some of that. Great. Well, you guys were annoying me today with some of that.
You guys were annoying me today.
Hey, you know what? I know it's a pleasure and an honor and a privilege to be a head coach.
Yeah.
But I know when people get mad at all of the coach speak, you do sometimes get asked some questions that you want to sit there and be, I want to give you my honest answer. And you're not going to like it.
Complimentary football.
I mean, it was
complimentary football.
It was that we do not care. I mean, what was the one question last year where he's standing at the podium and they asked him and he just goes
and walked away.
He's the funniest coach.
There is, and it's part of it, right? I told Rocco this, when he was reporting, when he was doing stuff here in Baltimore, right? And you've heard this story, Brad and Zach, but for everyone out there, I told Rock as a former player or anyone that's coaching, there are good questions and there are some questions that when you wonder why people don't want to talk to you later, it's because some of the questions you have are just let's just think this through for one more second.
Yeah.
You know, and I still remember there was one conversation, and I'll save it to be fair, but one of the conversations was about a moment. Rocco wanted to ask a question that Dean, friend of the show, friend of the program.
Oh, yeah.
Dean would have not said it verbally, but the message off air would have been, you can just get the hell out of here. And that's probably putting it lightly. So you got to read the room of how it is. And you get asked all these questions. You're going to get asked the same questions. You know, Mike Tomlin, though, I think he does a great job of how he handles it. And he'll just be honest. He'll be honest. I think people get mad at John Harbaugh for not doing more of that. But I do give John credit of, he hasn't fully blown up, but he sometimes says things where it's like, it would have been better if he just didn't say anything.
Like having 2 quarterbacks as your game plan going into yesterday's game?
That might have been better. Or complimentary football. That would have worked as well, too. Yeah, Brooks, that's the question right there. Why don't you just throw more strikes? Rocco didn't ask that question, but that was a question Rocco would have asked.
Yes, it would definitely a Rocco-like question.
It is, but you're a good kid. And our channel members, you guys are great kids. Appreciate each and every one of you. And Joe, I saw you there. Channel member for 18 months for Joe.
Hey.
Closing in on 2 years. Well, hey, how you doing? Can you believe it? Kind of. We can, but if you want to be a part of, does it feel like it's happening?
Sometimes.
Well, if you guys want to be a channel member, click that join button. We appreciate it. Helps us continue to build up here at the Ryan Ripken Show. Appreciate you guys. Thank you. Click the join button below. Before we go into then baseball, we've covered all of our football stuff, right?
Oh, do we want to do the Oklahoma State thing?
Yeah, that was your thing this weekend.
Yeah. So if you didn't see, obviously, Oklahoma State, let's just be honest, bad football. A lot of bad football. Just as a program. I mean, 69-3 loss to Oregon, 19-12 loss at home to Tulsa, 45-27 loss, 41-13 loss. And then this weekend they lost 39-17. So obviously energy in the stadium is not always at the highest. Well, one person decided that they were going to try to get the people going. So they walked into there were a lot of open space to choose from, but they walked into, I guess, open bleachers and decided, hey, I'm going to try to get some energy going. And I actually have found a time lapse of what then occurred after this. And what one man started, I'll just let you guys say it.
Wow.
That's awesome.
And actually, I don't know if you could see in the one, but Oklahoma State posted on their Jumbotron in that one thing. It was the section and it said world record. And then in parentheses, we guess for most shirtless dudes swinging a shirt in a stadium.
That was freaking electric, man. That's awesome. And that's what we're talking about, the positive impact right there. Because, Oklahoma State, woof, man. It's been rough. But like that, just like that. That's good. You know what? How do you get the Ravens back on track, Brad?
Not doing that.
Tarps off in 2 weeks at the bank. Bears, Ravens.
Yeah, and actually, ESPN Fans of the Week, section 231 was the shirtless section was named the Fans of the Week by ESPN. But Mike Golick did also, I was trying to find the tweet, put out something about tarps officially off. Yeah, tarps are officially off at section 231.
They should make that a section. 231 is the tarps off only section. You're not allowed to sit in that section unless the tarp comes off.
Yeah, and then this is the actual, I'll just screen share real fast, but this is what they said. New world record, probably most shirtless guys in the section. That's college football. That's like, we are so bad, but we've got to figure out something to get us through this season. And shout out to, I guess, the first guy. He saw the vision. He had a vision, and it happened.
He was also probably very drunk.
Without a doubt. You don't start that section sober.
And if he did, get that man season tickets.
Yes.
Get that man whatever he wants there. They lost that game, I believe, by 32 or 22.
Yes. Yes, they did.
But
there was not a lot. And actually, players after the game were like,
hell yeah.
Yeah, pretty much saying, like, this fan base deserves better after what they did today, like still showing up, and like was like, yeah, makes me want to run through a wall for this fan base. So good for them. If it's another.
Yeah.
One way or another. One way or another. One way or another. Who sings that? I hadn't thought about that song.
Pat Benatar?
I'm gonna find you. I'm gonna get you.
One way.
He knows it.
Hey,
do you know that Brazilian Portuguese song that's been going around on Instagram?
Well, we do now.
We do now.
Side note, if you guys heard the Eminem version, like 1950s soul of Without Me, someone made the AI version.
By the
of
way,
1950s.
it's Cactus that sings that song. I don't know why I thought it was Pat Benatar.
Really way off.
Yeah.
One way or another.
Blondie
was
the original singer.
Yeah. Well, that Brazilian funk might have nothing on Without Me 1950s Motown version, Zach.
Yeah, you lost me there.
Do you know the song Without Me by Eminem?
Yes.
Okay, we're going to play this after because I think people need to know. It's actually, AI is getting insane.
It's getting bad.
Oh,
it's getting
Without
insane.
Me with the classic or whatever.
Yeah,
it was.
classic soul.
Yeah.
It's a bop.
It's
a bop.
It is. Yeah, I did like that. I did enjoy that.
I enjoyed that. They have another one with
I couldn't listen to it like that all the time, but that was pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, the original still, has a lot of moments and memories for
That's
me.
like who was that guy? I think he was a comedian that would play like rock songs with the piano and almost kind of like he was in a piano bar. Or he would play like Smells Like Teen Spirit, but like just like
I know who you're
on
talking
the piano.
about.
Yeah, that's kind of what it reminded me of.
Oh, I thought you're going to talk about the guy that plays his version of like the seductive rap songs at like weddings. He's in movies.
Oh yeah.
In The Hangover.
Yes, I know who you're talking
I'll
about.
take you to the candy shop.
Yeah.
I'll let you lick the lollipop. Don't stop till you hit the spot. That guy. That's a band.
My pony.
Did he do that too?
Oh yeah, sure did.
I gotta watch that. There's some good movies. Zach, you ever seen Old School?
No, actually, yes.
You ever seen The Hangover?
Oh my God, yeah, I've seen The Hangover.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was 10 when that came out.
I'll say
9.
You got me a little bit worked up over that for a second. All right, we're back into it. Now
It's just crazy how much of a baby Zach is. I
He's
can't
a
kind of
baby.
forget sometimes.
he's a baby.
I was a full-blown adult when that movie came out.
Brad was smoking cigs and drinking beer
That's
when that
right.
song came out.
Sure was.
Hey, you know what? Before we dive into this whole baseball conversation, game 2 is going on as we talk right
Oh
now.
yeah, it's
incredible.
it's not looking good for the Blue Jays.
Yeah, so
No, it just 3-3.
Oh,
it's back now.
3-3. No way. All right, here we
we'll get
go.
into that. Before we do, we got to take a quick trip around Maryland here. Brought to you by our friends over at Next Move, Charm City, and the Belanger team at Lone Depot. They let us, Shannon Toback and Brett Ritchie gave us tickets to give away, which then Shannon Baker and her +1 took the tickets to the game on Sunday for the Ravens-Rams.
There you go.
So we might have more opportunities to do that. And if you are looking to make your next move, whether it's city, suburbs, or shore, make your move with Next Move, Charm City. Did I do that okay?
Yeah.
That was that you did.
You know, you did not have the case of the Mondays with that one. I appreciate that.
I did pretty good on that one. We'll talk more about with that and what they are doing. But guys, do we just rip the Band-Aid off? Maryland could have done it again. They could have won again. And for the second straight week, the Terps give up a score late in the game after having a lead. They gave up the last 17 points of the game, I believe, and lost to the Nebraska Cornhuskers, which, hey, shout out Nebraska. Big win for Matt Rule and their program as they continue on. But Maryland, I want to believe, and I look at it and I go, this feels like a different Terps team, Zach. It feels like a different Terps team. But then the result's the same as the Terps.
Well, I mean,
team.
and here's where it gets even. Then Loxley comes out after the game and on the press conference, he goes, nobody can sit here and say that this is the same old Maryland despite the loss. Then I'm nobody. This is the same old Maryland. You think that you get your hopes up and then just absolutely heartbreaking, just devastation. The Terps should be 6-0. They should be nationally ranked. We should be looking forward to games against Indiana, against Michigan. That should be what people are doing, is circling the big games, because College Park is going to be bumping. It's going to be an unreal atmosphere. Hell, this weekend should have been an unreal atmosphere. They should have been 5-0 coming into it. Once again, they would have been ranked. It would have been against a good Indiana or a good Nebraska team with Patrick Mahomes Jr. Sitting at quarterback. But I mean, Dylan Raiola, a three interception game. Had 3 interceptions. He was 20 for 29, 260, and 4 touchdowns. He also gave the ball away 3 times. I mean, Maryland's defense was doing everything they could. It just sucks because, you do have to give them the benefit of the doubt, especially Malik Washington. This is a freshman quarterback, a true freshman. He was playing at Archbishop Spalding last year. So very big jump in competition. I understand that. So it sucks because Maryland should be 6-0, but you can't really put the blame on a 18-year-old quarterback. That's got to be, other guys have to step up. So you sit there, and I am excited for the future. Obviously, you have to hope that Malik stays and everything, but at the same time, in the back of your head, it's once again they started 4-0 and gave you hope, and then reality kicked in fast, because this team should be 6-0. The talk of Maryland should be about how this is a new era in Terps football, and instead we're sitting here every single week just going same old Maryland, and that sucks, because man, does that fan base deserve better.
It would be, even if they won one of these games, one of them,
yeah,
it would be buzzing. Granted, if you go and beat UCLA, because Indiana is a wagon that's coming in a couple weeks. They went out and beat Oregon. Talk about a team that does not care and embodies their team about not caring how people think of them. It's Indiana. They are legit.
Oh, yeah.
They are legit. They are and I love this in college football right now. I love the fact that we're talking about different teams and the top dogs each and every year. Indiana, it's been cool to see, but for the Terps, it's okay. It's okay. We still have faith. Where's my sign of believe, Brad?
Yeah.
Where is it? Is it up here?
Yeah, believe.
Is it above?
Believe.
But it's just like what Sean Merriman was talking about. His biggest fear and worry was, he was like, hey, people talk about hangovers for big wins. They're hangovers for big losses. And holy crap, would it have just been so awesome to see this Maryland team have that just horrendous collapse at the end of the Washington game. They're big time underdogs again against Indiana. I keep saying Indiana because we're talking about them. Nebraska. If you're able to just beat them, win that game that they were handedly ahead in again, that would have been the best bounce back you could have asked for. People know we wouldn't have forgotten about Washington, but we wouldn't be sitting here going, same old Maryland. We would have been sitting here going, hey, you want to talk about a different Maryland team? The recent Maryland teams go out and get blown out in that game. Instead, it's hard to be excited about that, of they didn't get blown out in the, this hangover game, because they still lost. They blew the lead. But man, would it have just been so nice, go out there, beat Nebraska, and then you can sit here and actually feel good about at least the mentality of Maryland of hey, this isn't like before when they blow a game, they're about to lose 2, 3, 4 straight. It would have been nice to just kind of put that away, get some confidence back before you get deeper into Big Ten play. But it is what it is. They now have to go and get the job done. Next game.
You gonna be okay?
It's just disappointing. And I feel bad for the diehards. Like, I am a very casual Maryland fan, and I'm beyond frustrated. I cannot imagine, the diehards who go to all these games, who truly believe that this should be different, who put their, blood, sweat, and tears into watching all these games, going to these games. Like that, it sucks for them because they're so close, but they just can't get over that hump.
In Nebraska, I'll tell you who did travel and they're diehards. The Cornhusker fan base, because Jamie's family spent a lot of time out there in Nebraska and Lincoln. They love themselves, the Cornhuskers. Even when they've been bad for years, they traveled well to College Park, and they got to see their team pull out a victory there. So, hey, how you doing? Good on the Cornhuskers, but for Maryland, we'll try to keep hope and see if they can bounce back in their next game against UCLA. Guys, no Orioles news, so we can stay around Maryland with that. We'll see what happens there.
But we do have a game tonight in Maryland.
We do have a game tonight in Maryland, the Commanders, which kind of a messy game right now, or weather-wise, you know?
Yeah.
The Bears are coming back for the first time since the Hail Mary, which was last year.
Yeah. Not like it was a while ago.
It was many years ago, many moons ago, Brad. Commanders, Bears, 8:15. The Commanders look to get to, 4-2 on the season?
Yes, and then Jaden Daniels will also be back.
He came back last week.
That's what I mean.
His first home game. First home game since the week 1 victory over the Giants.
He's been turnover free in his last 5 starts.
Hey, how you doing there?
Yeah.
Hey,
also, Bill.
Bill's
going to have himself a night, I would think.
Hey, Bill, we can get into our bets there as we close out this show and program. Do we want to do it now or close out the program when we do that? Because we got to get a little bit of baseball.
Well, I don't know. However you want to do that. I also wanted to test out the members only live stream today.
Oh, like why we do it or while we do it?
Well, we can do it however you want, but I just think it would be fun.
Okay, so
I just want to see how it works for starters, and then why not?
So why don't we do this? We'll do a little bit of this postseason baseball.
Yep.
Then we're gonna talk about the best bet, Bolly's bet get, and then in our members only, we'll talk about a little bit of that John Smoltz Yankees talk.
Okay.
Does that work?
That works.
And break. Good. Team, break. Okay. So why don't we do a little postseason baseball? Right now, the Jays are trying to avoid a 2-0. 2-0. 2-0.
Jesus.
2-0. A 2-0 hole. Oh, there it was. Well, no, where's the drums?
Hold on. Let me find them.
You're not gonna.
No, that's not it.
So you had to hit that twice to make sure that the first one wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's the finger slipped.
I didn't know if it was like a double click thing.
Oh, yeah. I feel like when Zach goes over there, you find the drums pretty easily. I guess.
Hold on one more time. Nope, that's not it.
I swear there were drums on that thing. But I digress. The main thing here is.
All right, Zach, find it for me.
Is it on the next page?
God damn it. Why did you have to do that?
You
just ruined the whole thing.
Oh, so you were trying to tick me off all this whole time. It was so good when I had all my great jokes. You ruined them.
No, Zach ruined it.
No, he saved it.
I'm just a truther. I didn't.
You want
just
to
ruin the whole bit.
I was going to say a truther because of the whole like Drake and Josh. Like, you call me a liar.
Just ruin the whole
calling you a
bit.
truther.
No, I think you know what? You were depriving me. Do you feel better about that?
I was just a third
There you
party
go.
that
You can just
wasn't
have that.
aware of the situation at hand, and I just kind of
Just
walked
putting you
in.
in timeout.
That's not time. Oh. So that's what we're doing.
That's what's on
That's
page
what-
2.
That's what's on.
I found page 2.
Oh, that's page 2.
Yep.
Yep.
We
There it
can
is.
take page 2 and shove it right up the 2 hole.
All right. Baseball.
Yep.
The Jays are trying to avoid a 2-0 hole in the ALCS. I'm happy with how things have played out this postseason so far. Right now, 3 of the 4 teams would be an unbelievable moment for their fan bases if they were to win. The only one that's still there, that's won some things recently, that's the Dodgers. But the Brew Crew, they're trying to get back to the World Series. The Jays trying to get back to the World Series. The Mariners trying to get to the World Series for the first time ever. They've yet to have played in the Fall Classic, which is crazy to me. And the Dodgers, as we know, are trying to repeat. So far, as we're talking about this, the Dodgers 3-3, going to the top of the 4th. Really, I think it's going to be a great series. I think these two teams, they got good pitching on both sides. They could have timely hitting. We saw that the last couple days. It's amazing. Big fan. Now, the other side, the Brew Crew, right? The only thing you're not a fan of, Zach, just so I know, you hate it was a 2 p.m. start out in
like
Seattle.
Yeah, well, because like this game, you think about it, it's game 2 of the ALCS, 5:00 start time here. I get that, but in Seattle, it's a 2:00 start time for the American League Championship Series. And it's not like it's 2:00 on a Sunday or on a Saturday, like middle of the workday.
Yeah,
like I'm sorry, but if I'm working and my team is in the ALCS in the middle of the day, you think I'm getting anything done? Like, I just don't, I don't know. I don't like, I understand that they're trying to do the whole, we don't want 2 games on at once, all of that. We have an NFL football game on at 10 p.m. next week. Like time is just doesn't exist. Just literally make it so even if it's one game starts at 7 and the next one is at 9:15, I think that is better than we're sitting here and on the West Coast at 2 p.m. on a Monday, the Mariners are playing in the ALCS.
And there's no way for a Mariners fan that's been waiting for them to get back to this moment. It's been 24 years since they've been back to the ALCS. Yeah. You think a Mariners fan is going to miss watching this game? You're not getting work done out there in Seattle right now. No, not a chance. It's like the same thing when March Madness comes on. You think you're actually getting work done on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of that week?
That Thursday, Friday is the least productive day of all time.
All time. You know, fun fact, apparently that's when men get, if you get a vasectomy, that's when men choose to get it.
Sure is, because you can just chill out for 72 hours watching March Madness.
That's actually the most common time. And I learned that in professional baseball. Don't know how that came about, but I learned that fun fact. There's no rhyme or reason. That's just where I learned it.
Huh? Okay.
The more you know. But the Brew Crew and the Dodgers, they play tonight. They kick it off on the other side.
I do have a poll.
8:08 in Milwaukee. What's the poll?
The 2 teams that will face off in the World Series are, and the lead is tied. Fans are either saying Blue Jays, Dodgers, or Blue Jays, Brewers.
Blue Jays, Dodgers. So no one's thinking the Mariners.
Well, I won't say no one, but it's 11% Mariners Dodgers and 22% Mariners Brewers, but it's tied at 33% for Blue Jays Dodgers and Blue Jays Brewers.
Blue Jays Brewers. You know what? The Dodgers are the best team that's left.
Yep.
But I think it would be so good for the sport if it was something else. I know MLB would say Dodgers internationally. They got all the pull.
The business side of it, Dodgers.
Says Dodgers. But baseball-wise, I think it would be so stinking great to see one of those teams. I know in the American League East, if you're a fan of the Orioles, a lot of people that follow us are, you don't want to see the Blue Jays.
Yeah.
I've been impressed with what they've done. I'm just a baseball guy. So them or the Mariners, it would be cool to see.
For me, it's Mariners Brewers. I think would be a great World Series. Mariners never been there.
Yep.
Long time for the Brewers, so I just think it would be a great series.
It would be. It would be something there, but I guess we'll have to find out. We still got the best of 7. One's kicking off tonight. The other series, ALCS, game 2 right now. 3-3 in the top of the 4th here as we continue to dive into all that.
You thought that the Blue Jays, the way that George Springer smashed that home run last night, I thought, oh shit, here it goes.
Yeah.
And then it was nothing after that. Was it 2 hits the whole game, I think?
Mm-hmm. Hey, Mariners Brewers, Rick saying would be awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Be a good series, man. Like I think what I love about both those teams, the Mariners, like they do have the long ball component.
Yeah.
But they can be very clutch. No one that felt like it's been more clutch than Cal Raleigh, like just throughout the year and his season and the postseason. He's had some big moments. Then there's the Brewers that just like found ways to win.
Yep.
Great atmosphere out there in Milwaukee. Pat Murphy's a great listen for sound bites during the game and during press conferences, their manager. Yeah, I'm all for it. We'll see, though. You got to play the game, Zach.
Yeah.
You got to play the game. Are you ready to play the game in Hollywood Casino?
Yeah, let's do this.
Well, why don't we take a quick trip up to our friends at Hollywood Casino Charlestown Races?
West Virginia.
I got to be honest, that kind of terrified me. That was like spooky season right
I
there.
saw your face. I just needed to do that.
That was wild. But there are 2 NFL games tonight. Falcons and Bills down in Hotlanta at 7:15. And then at 8:15 down the road here, the Commanders take on the Bears. So, Zach, what is your Bolly's best bet for this evening?
Yeah, so we're 3-0 in the throwback picture player era.
Hey,
so
change it.
keep it rolling. And today, sometimes you just gotta go with guys who are at the top of their game. Arguably most dangerous player in the NFL with the ball in his hands.
Whoa.
Can do it on the ground, can do it in the receiving game. We're going Bijan Robinson over 111.5 rushing plus receiving yards. I mean, this guy, the Bills, we've seen their defense struggle at times this year. And I just feel like this is one of those games where whether it's on the ground, whether it's through the air, if the Falcons want to stay competitive, if they want to stay in this game, they are going to have to get it to their playmakers. And they do not have a better playmaker than Mr. Bijan Robinson himself.
Feed that man.
Yep. Feed him.
Bijan.
And Drake.
Bijan.
Is one thing I got to say is Bijan spelled right there? Bijan?
Yeah, actually, I'm pretty sure. I'm like,
how sure?
Oh, no.
It
was A instead of, damn it. I had the wrong word. It's because I was making a joke because I was going to put Dijon with an X, and then I was going to say Bijan. And then I just let the
D silent.
Oh, shit.
Damn it. This is not good for vibes going into this.
Oh, it's okay. Hey, we were having some great vibes. Vibes last night. Zach and I were talking. Unfortunately, my best bet of the week, I lost for the first time yesterday. Except Kendrick Bourne for the second one I gave out. That honestly, they should just send Kendrick Bourne on the 49ers over 120 yards, like a Brad special for Zay Flowers last year. Because Kendrick Bourne in the last 2 games has averaged 140 yards. But he cashed, but the one that I put out on the graphic, Ashton Genty, I said over 75.5, I think was the list.
Mm-hmm.
He got 75.
Woo!
And they took him out on the last drive to say, hey, Raheem Mostert, we'll give you the carries. And they did. And that's how that's a bad beat. But you know what? It's okay. It's all right. If Zach and I were having fun, and maybe we should throw those in for our channel members. We were going back and forth. Or we're like, why don't we just dabble with a little Hollywood Brown over 39.5? Or Brashard Smith.
Brashard Smith was that one got sweaty, especially because you expect one pass to him, and he got the first pass for 10 yards exactly, and we needed over 11.5. And I was like, that's it. I was like, then they threw a little shovel or a little pitch to him again. Just found a way. Find a way.
Yeah, we had a fun time. We were having a good time there. But for those that just missed it, Bijan over 111 rushing and receiving yards tonight against Buffalo. Should be a good game.
Not to be confused with Dijon.
Yeah, Dijon, the D silent. Yeah, it's spooky season. Nothing scarier than Bijan with a D. If you know someone with Bijan with the silent D, that's terrifying.
Yeah.
What are you laughing at over there?
Just the whole thing.
Just this whole thing.
Don't clip that. That is, yeah, I realize what happened. Spooky season.
You know what? I went back and watched the Trey McBride interview that we had.
Yeah.
That first 30 seconds, there was a shit ton of pauses in that.
Yeah, you know what?
We need to go back and throw that on social media because there was lots of pauses.
Hey, he's a beast, man.
Shout
out. Hey,
not to take that away, but
there's some pauses.
First 30 seconds of that interview, I was like, holy shit, how did we not catch this?
I got to say, the Ryan Ripken show appearance at some point, I think it adds to them just continuing to ball out because Trey McBride's been balling out appearance.
Yeah.
Josh Jacobs made his putt. We didn't have him on. We were supposed to, but made the putt. He's been balling out. He had a great game.
Oh,
yesterday. Balling. I think that's all that content. Do you want to try this members only?
We have to get to Humpy at some point.
Oh, do you want to talk about Humpy?
We have to.
We can do it for members.
Members only? Okay. Do we sign off for this lot for the?
We're not signing off. So here's what happens. We've never done this before. Well, we're going to do it today. And it probably will happen if this all works for our channel members to where once a week, probably Mondays, we'll extend the show for our members, but it's going to be members only. You don't have to leave. If you're not a member, we're about to leave you. So if you want to stay on the show, we want to continue watching and all the shenanigans, you got to become a member in 1 minute.
Do you want me to close out then for this part of the show and do the music and
Nope.
then keep going?
Well, we're just going to keep it moving.
Well, for the podcast platforms for Spotify and Apple, this is where it will end. Appreciate you guys. We'll be back more and more to talk on Thursday about the rest of the show. But for everyone else as well, and shout out to Merit Clubs, by the way, as always, spooky season is upon us. $1 enrollment, guys. $1 enrollment. What'd I do?
Oh, no, it wasn't you.
Usually when
this is why we experiment with things.
Yep. What happened? Did we lose people?
I just said it says I don't know. Well, I guess we'll find out because I clicked it and it says members only live starts in 1 minute. However, it's not supported for you yet.
Oh, so we're not supported.
But does that mean because I'm technically not a member?
Probably. Well, no.
I don't know.
I'm gonna look.
Are we still live?
We're still very much live. But I don't. This is why I wanted to try it.
Well, we're trying it here. We're trying it. But also, you guys should try out Merit Clubs. $1 early enrollment here.